What's going on, people? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, I often say this. Social media can really change your perception of people that you really like or people that you really like their music, so on and so forth, right? And I understand that we don't know these people. We just like the music that they bring. We like whatever service they're performing, whether it be some form of entertainment, an actor, an actress, an athlete, so on and so forth. But you really get to see the ignorant side of people at times through social media, right? Y'all know I'm a huge, well, maybe some of you all don't know, I'm a huge T.I. fan, right? Tip has been one of my favorite rappers of all time. Seriously, he probably like top three rapper from the South for me. And Tip is in like my top 10 rappers. Like, that's one of my favorite rappers of all time. Seriously, from the storytelling to the lyrical ability to the flow, song making ability, so on and so forth, right? But nonetheless, let's get into what this video is about. So, for those who don't know, one of T.I.'s sons, King. King was in like a Waffle House of some sort or some type of restaurant. And he's in the restaurant and he's arguing with the cook. He's going back and forth with the cook, telling the cook how he got more in his pocket. He pulled out a wad of money. This worth more than your life, or some talking crazy to her. This worth more than your whole existence. I'm paraphrasing, but something along the lines of that, right? How he got more than what she worth, and talking crazy to her, talking about how he ain't got to go to F nowhere, how he ain't got to go to F here, there, talking crazy, talking real belligerent, sounding ignorant, sounding real entitled, all across the board. So T.I. then goes on his Instagram live, I think a couple of days later, and people are asking him, hey, did you talk to your son about that whole situation? So T.I. said, of course I talked to my son. So I'm expecting Tip to say, yeah, I talked to my son. I talked to him about how he shouldn't talk to people and try to treat people like they're beneath him, so on and so forth, how he needs to respect people no matter what. I'm thinking he's going to give like some type of life lesson, say that he gave his son some type of life lesson like that. Does Tip do that? Absolutely not. Tip goes on Instagram and talking about how he was disappointed that his son felt the need to step to the level of a short order cook. He made it clear that the woman in the video was a short order cook, and how he don't need to be arguing with a short order cook. Why would he stoop to her level, and so on and so forth. I felt disappointed that he even would engage with a woman like that, and so on. It's just ignorant stuff, right? And I'm like, wow. How can we as a people expect King to recognize the error in his ways or the fault in his ways when his own father is really out here making excuses for it, right? He's making it seem like his son was justified in his actions by trying to belittle the lady that his son was being rude to, right? Belittle the person that his son was being rude to in the interview. Not in the interview, in the video. Talking crazy to the woman, talking all type of wild, talking crazy to the cook. And his father is making it seem like, oh, it was justified. Oh, my son should have never even stooped to the level of a short order cook. Hold on. You think your son better than a cook because the person is a cook and your son not? The only reason your son is not a cook is because you're his father. Point blank, period. So his son pulling out that wad of money talking about I'm worth more than your life and all that type of stuff. No, your father is. And that's the reason why you can go on and talk and brag and talk arrogantly like that to a person as if they're beneath you. It's sickening, fam. So Tip calling a woman a short order cook, trying to belittle her is real it's clown behavior, because everybody in this world has a job to do, and all these jobs make the world go round, right? If I'm not a cook, somebody has to do that job. We like to go out to restaurants to eat. We like to go to nice places to eat fancy. There's a person preparing our meal, right? And for your son to talk all type of aggressively and ignorant to the person that's cooking to his meal shows the lack of maturity that he has. And again, if he's in the same roof under the same roof as Tip, listen, I know he raised his children to be very smart and all this and all of that, but King be acting real wild and unruly. King think he a street dude. He think he on a block, and he think he want all the smoke, and he think he from the streets. And he's absolutely not. You're not your father. That's not your lifestyle, brother. You need to act as if, you were raised in a suburban area that you were. Acting like you just some street. And I'm not saying that suburban people are square or nothing like that. But he acting like he was on a block all his life, like he's super tough. Like he's just some street dude. Calm that energy down. And Tip need to preach that to his son. Again, I'm just tripped out that his father didn't even talk to him about trying to belittle the cook. Like, and his father started to belittle the cook as if the cook ain't never done nothing in life. And I'm looking like, as much as he like to go and do all this stuff, it's always people to give him that service. We need everybody in this world to make the world go round, to provide services that we like to engage in, right? People render services to us because, oh, Tip, you like to eat at fancy restaurants, somebody cooking your food. You like to go to this function and that function. It's somebody operating behind the scenes to get those jobs done. So to talk about those people like they ain't no good, like they ain't better than the dirt on the bottom of your shoe, that's clowned out. And Tip need to be, listen, you better get your son in order. Because there's some people out here, I know some cooks that will slap the taste out of King's mouth, right? And they will be prepared to deal with whatever smoke they can come their way from Tip with no question. I know people like that, right? I grew up in areas where dudes don't care about whose son you are, none of that. They ready for all that. They'll smack you and smack the father too, and be ready for any type of action. So it's just like, he can get himself into a world of trouble from his mouth and his persona, King I'm talking about, making him he think he's from the streets. That whole persona, like he's just some big tough dude, can get him in a whole lot of trouble that his father may not be able to get him out of. So it's important to tell your son how to conduct himself in this world and to treat people how he want to be treated, right? He wouldn't like it if somebody talked to Neek that way, if somebody talked to one of his brothers that way. He'd be ready to go crazy, even if his brother was a cook, because like, hold on, fam. You ain't trying to flex on my family member, pulling out wads of money and all this, bro. That ain't your bread. That's your daddy bread. If it wasn't for your father, you wouldn't be in that position. So to act like you just hustled this whole money up, bro, you ain't did nothing. Yeah, you make some little music here and there, but it ain't really making no noise. If anything, Damani the one in this is the truth out the bunch of the kids. Like, and Neek can sing too, for sure. But Damani really got he tough with it. He nice with it. And I don't see, and again, we don't know these people, we don't know these children off screen, but I don't see Damani going out there acting wild and acting like he's super tough and he arrogant and he gangster and all that. It's no need for that. He knows he don't have to do that. Your father lived that lifestyle for you all to live nice in a safe gated community and to live a great life, worry-free, right? And Damani's music represents that, right? He talk about, trying to be a good rapper, trying to deal with the fact how people label him from being the son of T.I. and thinking he's an entitled kid and so on and so forth. And he talks about those things and it's really great. He makes great music. But I don't see that arrogance emitting off of that young man the same way I do King, right? And I know every child is different, but it's like, damn, like, nah, you got to be more on your brother time. Because this whole entitled attitude, nah, it's not okay. And Tip is absolving his son of any type of he's absolving him of any consequences. He's absolving him of any ability to recognize his wrongdoing by out here trying to justify his son's actions or make it seem like, oh, my son shouldn't have been arguing with nobody that's beneath him. Hold on, that lady beneath your son, the cook is beneath your son because she's a cook and your son is your son? Like, oh, because you T.I. son? Bro, get up out of here, fam. In life, I recognize, listen, I have children. I'm never going to let my children believe that if I achieve a certain amount of success, that they're better than another person or another group of people because they got a little bit more, they more financially straight and so on and so forth. But I'm looking like, Tip, cut it out. And this is the persona that I think has rubbed people the wrong way from even Tip, from the justifying his son's actions. That persona that Tip be displaying at times is off-putting to even people in the comedy world. Right? He rubs people the wrong way, doing all type of crazy stuff, thinking that you just entitled even in the comedy world. He thinking he entitled there. Tip, you're an excellent rapper, a tremendous rapper, but you ain't paid your dues in the comedy circuit to try to just think you just gonna be Bogarting your way to do this and do that because you Tip. But again, and you can talk to people however you want to talk to because you Tip. And that's where King get that stuff from, right? He getting that right from Tip. And again, he got to recognize, tell your son to move correctly, and to watch how he talks to people in his life, because there are people in his life who don't care nothing about no lawsuit, nothing like that. They don't, and they should, but they don't care nothing about whose son you are. They will come in there and grab that boy out of his shoes. Because I'm telling you, that woman or whatever, that cook could have had a son or something that wouldn't give a damn about, oh, he's this King, I ain't gonna touch him, and would be ready for all that action. And King may not be prepared to handle no smoke like that, right? And you may not be there, Tip, to assist him in that matter, and then things go haywire, and the next thing you know, everybody, oh my God, something crazy happening, which could have been avoided in the first place Had your son been talking to a person correctly, and had he been talking to the person like they were a person and not something beneath him, that was a problem all within itself, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that whole situation. Leave the comments in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.